Maya Chen adjusted her blazer as she stepped onto Flight 447, her heels clicking against the jet bridge floor. The morning sun streamed through the aircraft windows, casting golden light across the premium cabin. She found her seat, 2A, right at the front. Perfect. She placed her leather briefcase in the overhead compartment and settled into the plush chair, letting out a quiet breath. This flight from Chicago to New York would give her exactly 3 hours to prepare for the biggest announcement of her career. Excuse me, ma'am. A flight attendant appeared beside her, blonde hair pulled back tight, name tag reading Karen. Her smile looked practiced. Hello. I need to ask you something. Maya looked up, eyebrows raised. Yes. Karen's voice dropped to a whisper, as if sharing a secret. We have a platinum elite member who really needs this seat. Would you mind moving to 12C? It's still business class, very comfortable. The request hung in the air like smoke. Maya felt her stomach tighten. She'd heard these words before, in different forms, different places. Always the same message underneath. I paid for this seat, Maya said calmly. I'm staying here. Karen's smile cracked slightly. But this gentleman, he flies with us all the time. He specifically requested I don't care what he requested. Maya's voice remained steady, controlled. This is my assigned seat. I'm not moving. A man pushed past Karen, his face red, his expensive suit wrinkled from travel. Richard Vanderbilt, according to the monogram on his briefcase. He jabbed a finger toward Maya. Look, I fly 40 times a year with this airline. 40 times. I deserve that seat more than some random person who probably used miles to get here. Other passengers were turning now, watching. The cabin had gone silent except for the soft hum of the air conditioning. Maya saw their faces, some uncomfortable, some curious, some already forming judgments. She recognized a young flight attendant, Lisa, standing near the galley, her dark eyes wide with concern. Sir, please lower your voice, Maya said. Her hands remained folded in her lap, but her heart hammered against her ribs. Stay calm. Stay dignified. I have every right to this seat. Richard leaned closer, his cologne overpowering. Do you even know how much I spend with this airline? People like you don't understand loyalty, don't understand people like me. Maya's voice cut through his tirade like a blade. Sharp. Clear. Unmistakable. Karen touched Richard's arm gently. Sir, maybe we can find you another excellent seat. First class has other options. I want that seat. Richard's voice boomed through the cabin now. Heads turned from every row. A child started crying somewhere in economy. I always sit in 2A. Always. This is ridiculous. Get your manager. Get security. I'm not flying if she doesn't move. Lisa stepped forward, her voice trembling but determined. Mr. Vanderbilt, please. All passengers have a right to their assigned seats. The lady isn't doing anything wrong. Karen shot Lisa a warning glare. Go check the rear galley. Now. Maya watched the young woman retreat, saw the fear and frustration in her eyes. How many times had Lisa witnessed this? How many times had she been forced to stay silent? Maya felt something harden inside her chest. Not today. Not anymore. The captain's voice crackled over the intercom, smooth and professional. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Flight 447 to New York. Before we begin our safety demonstration, I want to acknowledge a very special passenger flying with us today. We're honored to have. Karen's face went pale. She grabbed Richard's arm, tried to pull him back, but he shook her off. I don't care who's on this plane. Richard shouted. I want her out of my seat. Call security. Call your supervisor. I'll have all your jobs for this. The captain continued, his voice growing clearer. We're honored to have Maya Chen aboard, the newly appointed CEO of Sky Horizon Airlines, conducting a surprise inspection of our service standards. Silence crashed over the cabin like a wave. Every sound died. Every movement stopped. Richard's mouth hung open, his fingers still pointing at Maya. Karen's clipboard slipped from her hands, clattering onto the floor. The passengers who'd been watching now stared with expressions ranging from shock to satisfaction. Maya stood slowly, gracefully. She straightened her blazer and looked directly at Richard. His face had drained of all color, sweat beading on his forehead. His hand dropped to his side. You're... Richard stammered, backing up into Karen, who stumbled backward into a seat. Yes, Maya said quietly. I'm the CEO of this airline. The airline you claim to be so loyal to. The airline whose staff you just screamed at. The airline whose policies you assumed didn't apply to you. She turned to Karen, whose hands were shaking. You asked me to give up my assigned seat based on what? His status? His frequency of travel? Or was it something else? Something you didn't want to say out loud. Karen opened her mouth but no words came out. Tears poured in her eyes. Maya continued, her voice carrying through the cabin. Every passenger on this aircraft deserves respect. Every single one. It doesn't matter their race, their gender, their ticket class, or how often they fly. When you board a Sky Horizon plane, you board as equals. Richard tried to speak. Look, I didn't know, I just thought you felt wrong, Maya said firmly. You thought your money gave you permission to treat people as less than human. You thought your status meant you could demand, intimidate, and insult. You were wrong. She pulled out her phone, tapped quickly. Mr. Vanderbilt, you are permanently banned from all Sky Horizon flights, effective immediately. Your platinum status is revoked. Security will escort you off this aircraft. Richard's face went from pale to crimson. You can't do this. I'll sue. I'll go to the media. You leave, Maya said. Now. Two security officers appeared at the door. They'd been waiting, watching, ready. They took Richard by the arms and led him down the aisle. He protested every step, his voice fading as they pulled him toward the exit. Maya turned to Karen. You're terminated, effective immediately. Discrimination has no place in this company. Pack your things and leave with security. Karen's tears spilled over. Please, I have a mortgage, I have kids. You should have thought about that before you treated a paying customer like a problem to be moved aside, Maya said. Her voice wasn't cruel, just final. Actions have consequences. Lisa stood frozen near the galley, her eyes wide. Maya walked over to her, her expression softening. What's your name? Lisa. Lisa Martinez, the young woman whispered. Lisa, you spoke up when it wasn't easy. You defended what was right when your superior told you to be quiet. How long have you worked for us? 6 months. Maya smiled, genuinely this time. As of today, you're promoted to senior flight attendant. You'll undergo management training. We need people with your integrity leading our teams. Lisa's hands flew to her mouth. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but these were different tears. Thank you. Thank you so much. The cabin erupted in applause. Passengers clapped, some standing, some wiping their own eyes. A woman in row 4 called out, about time someone stood up to people like him. Maya raised her hand, and the applause gradually quieted. She turned to face everyone, her voice clear and strong. I took this position 3 weeks ago. I've been visiting our hubs, our offices, our planes, without announcement. I've seen the good and the bad. Today, you witnessed both. You saw discrimination, and you saw courage. You saw entitlement, and you saw dignity. She paused, letting her words sink in. Starting today, Sky Horizon Airlines implements a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination of any kind. From passengers, from staff, from anyone. Every employee will undergo mandatory training. Every complaint will be investigated. Every victim will be heard. This isn't just policy. This is our promise. An older black man in row 3 stood up slowly. Ma'am, I've been flying for 40 years. I've been asked to move, been questioned about my ticket, been treated like I didn't belong. Thank you. Thank you for saying what needed to be said. Others nodded. A young mother clutched her daughter close. A businessman in a turban wiped his eyes. They all felt it, in different ways, at different times. The sting of being seen as less. Maya nodded to them all. We fly because we want to connect, to explore, to come home. No one should feel unwelcome while doing that. Not on my planes. Not ever. She returned to her seat, 2A, and sat down. Lisa brought her a bottle of water with trembling hands. Thank you, Maya said softly. For being brave. The flight continued smoothly after that. The safety demonstration proceeded, the engines roared to life, and the plane lifted into the bright morning sky. But something had shifted in that cabin. Passengers smiled at each other. They helped with bags. They spoke with kindness. A small ripple in a vast ocean, but ripples spread as they reached cruising altitude. Maya looked out the window at the clouds below, thinking of all the battles still to fight, all the changes still to make. But today, on Flight 447, justice had won. Hope had taken root. And sometimes, that's exactly where revolutions begin, in the small moments when someone decides enough is enough, and speaks truth to power. The plane soared toward New York, carrying its passengers toward their destinations, but also toward something more, a future where every seat belongs to whoever claims it, where dignity isn't negotiable, and where the color of your skin never determines your worth. First class, economy, or anywhere in between, they were all equal now. At least on this plane. At least today. And that was a start.